Hey goons, welcome back to another Mopium Productions video. We're back on CS2 as usual. Now everybody loves watching me play CS2. If you guys are getting tired of the CS2 gameplay, let me know in the comments down below, and I just shit on that guy low-key. But anyways, I wanted to talk about an anime I just finished. I've been watching it the past 3 days. It's very depressing, I guess is the right term. Extremely depressing actually. And now that I've finished it, I'm like I feel really empty. And the worst part is I've also read the manga too, so I feel even more empty after reading the manga because neither ending.
The starting pistol is my gun. Fuck.
All right, well it's interesting. Oh no, I was going on an insane streak. I'm so sad. But yeah, so basically, I wasn't satisfied with the anime ending, and then I was like, oh, I know there's a manga, so I'll go read the manga, and I wasn't satisfied. If anything, I was even more dissatisfied with the ending when I read the manga. It put me in an even worse state, and I think that's probably why I feel so empty, is just the fact that, you know, watching the show has ended, and the fact that the ending wasn't great either way. So usually the way that anime works is that it's usually just an adaptation of manga, right? So somebody like basically makes manga and then that gets adapted into an anime. But there are also some occasions where the original material is actually a novel, or like a light novel, right? Like kind of like a short story, or like, you know, just a book you can read kind of thing. And then it gets adapted into a manga or anime, and then it gets adapted to the other media that's not been adapted yet. So, for example, it could either be light novel, then manga, then anime, or it can be light novel, then anime, then manga. And sometimes the manga and the anime will also release at the same time. But anyways, yeah, like I said, so in this scenario, this anime, it's called Welcome to the NHK. NHK. It's an interesting anime for sure. The first like 3-4 episodes, it seems like it's gonna be like a comedy, like, you know, like mess around type, you know, a little bit of a feel good, just a tad bit. But then, yeah, after the like 4th episode, it starts to get really depressing, and like towards the end it gets extremely depressing, like seriously depressing. I'm like, okay, I you know, but yeah, so in this scenario, I'm about to mute this guy, dude. This guy is annoying. In this situation, the light novel was made first, and then there was a manga, I'm pretty sure. And then while the manga was being created, the anime came out. But the anime came out like towards the end of the manga. So, you know, but I'm kind of processing like everything I've watched and read. I haven't read the light novel. I've only watched the anime and read the manga. And
Please, I have to get you.
I'm gonna mute this guy. Dude, how do I mute people?
Don't do this to me.
Is this gonna mute everybody? But yeah, so basically the anime is just essentially about this guy who is a shut-in. It uses Japanese term, which is hikikimori, something like that, which is basically just a term, or like it's apparently a social phenomena that was like really big in Japan in the early 2000s, and even now apparently it's even worse now. It's kind of similar to, like, you know, how people talk about the male loneliness epidemic now. They're like, oh, like there's a huge male loneliness epidemic, like males aren't, like, you know, making friends or going out, or you know, just living normal healthy lives, right? But I guess it was a pretty, I guess yeah, so hikikomori is somebody who's a shut-in. They don't go outside, like, they stay in their room all day, or they stay in their house all day. And we follow a person who's been a shut-in for 4 years at this point in his life. And the thing is, I kind of related to the shut-in aspect of it. I don't know if this is just a common thing now, but usually when I'm going through a lot of stuff, I tend to isolate myself a lot. People will talk to me, like I'll get texts, I'll get invites, I'll get stuff like that. But then if I'm going through something, I really don't like being bothered by somebody. Well, not bothered, but like being, I don't know, talking or being conversational or social just in general. Like, I don't have that one person where I can be social with. I just kind of isolate myself from everybody. And the truth is that last year, I feel like I was pretty secluded. Like, I shut myself in a lot last year, especially after going through my breakup. Isolation was my way of coping, I guess. And I'm so thankful that I eventually learned that, it's not healthy and I need to go outside and do things for myself. And I really wish that I watched this anime a year ago when I was a shut-in, because I feel like I would have come out of my shell a lot quicker if I watched the anime. And so anyways, yeah, so I don't want to spoil a lot of the things about the anime, because I think going in blind is the best way you can experience just any kind of media. And especially with something like this good, I think you kind of have to go in blind and, just trust the process. After the first 3 episodes, you'll start understanding why a lot of people recommend this anime, especially if you can relate to the main character. What the fuck? But yeah, I'm still like processing the whole, like, everything that I watched. It's like I said, it's about a guy who's shut in, but eventually he like grows out of his shell. He learns that he can't, like, nobody's there to save him. Like, he eventually learns that he has to do things for himself. He has to get up and do and become a productive member of society. And I think in that regard, it's kind of like a bittersweet ending, because the ending kind of... Actually, yeah, no, I don't want to spoil the ending. What is this guy doing? Okay, he killed me. I'm horrible. How did I lose the guy? Yeah, I don't want to spoil the ending, but I've already kind of said it, but it's pretty bittersweet, both the anime and the manga. And I think the most ironic part about reading the manga today is that I actually read it all in one sitting today. And I think it took me like 5 or 6 hours, like just sitting there reading. Maybe less than that, actually. I would say maybe like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. And then the light novel is another like 4 hours to read. But I'm going to save that for another day, another day where I'm free. Wait a second, I can lock in here. What? He's sitting there? But yeah, so the anime deals a lot with like social anxiety, isolating yourself when things go hard. And I think the best part about the show is that it shows the main character like going, like, relapsing and going through like relapsing and all the setbacks that you can go through when you are genuinely just trying to better yourself and become a better person. I came in top 3. Let's go. 47. 79 headshot percentage. Holy. Yeah, I think the best part about the anime is that it is an extremely realistic portrayal of, people with like social anxiety and people who like isolate themselves go through. I feel like I related to the main character a lot in that, well, all the characters in the show kind of have that social anxiety aspect to them. And I think the whole point of the show is basically saying like, reason people isolate or gain some kind of social anxieties because of some kind of trauma that they go through. And for the main character, I mean, you learn this, I think, within like the first or second episode, so I don't think this is really spoiler. But the whole reason he shut himself in is because he felt like everybody was always looking down on him, and he still does throughout the entire show. Like throughout the entire show, you will see him relapse and stuff like that. But he feels like everybody's looking down on him, and that he feels like he's not good enough for anybody, and that everybody secretly hates him, and that they're all out to get him. And I think I felt that way last year too when I was isolating myself. I kind of always have this like pre-notion in my head that, I don't know if I said that word right. Pre-notion? Pre-notion. That sounds right. I have this pre-notion in my head whenever I talk to anybody in my life is that this person hates me and doesn't want to talk to me right now. I really don't know where it's come from. I've had some social trauma, I guess, that I don't really want to talk about. But yeah, I highly recommend Welcome to the NHK, especially if you feel like you can relate to the main character. Yeah, my voice is giving out. Moral of the story is, you know, if you're going through something, if you're isolating yourself right now and, you know, you feel like you're not in the best place in life right now, I highly recommend watching Welcome to the NHK. It will change how you view yourself and your situation a lot. And all I'm going to say is that if you want Misaki to save you, then you miss the point of the anime. Yeah, please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe.